In this video, I'm going to be doing some wildlife photography with my film camera. I'm in a very special location at the moment, and I'll show you the wildlife that I intend to photograph very soon. In fact, I think there's a couple around me just at the moment. This comes straight off my previous video in Wales, where I've been shooting the local landscapes with my film camera with varying results, although I haven't seen those results yet because I only finished filming today, so I'm not even certain that video is going to come out just yet. But if it has, this video follows on from that, but with a different genre of photography. Just this moment opened up my supply of Kentish cob nuts, which I'll be giving to the local wildlife in a while. I've not even got my camera out yet, and the local birds are dropping down. I've got a robin here, there's a nuthatch flying around somewhere, and up this tree, don't know if you'll ever see it, I think it's hidden away. Well, there's one over there. Let's just zoom in. Got a red squirrel having a nibble over there. Oh, and there's one. How are you? Just coming over here to say hello. You've seen my open box, haven't you? I think I'm going to get robbed. Oh, there's another one. My nuts. So many birds around in this woodland. There's a robin there just on the branch. Another robin at the bottom of the tree there. There was a nuthatch somewhere. He's gone off again, but there seems to be a couple of nuthatches flying about. So this is me all set up. I've focused on the top of that stump over there with my 300mm, a good distance away from the subject. Taking another light meter reading, and as long as the sun doesn't change too much, I should be okay for a decent shot here. I've just popped my cob nut on top of the stump here, and there's a little bit of bird food on top of there as well, just in case any birds want to drop that by. There's a robin just sitting on this stump here, very friendly robin. There's a nuthatch about somewhere as well. We've got a blue tit around the feeders there. There's a nuthatch just at on the bottom log there. Let's zoom in. There he goes. It's typical, that nuthatch just keeps landing at that same spot, and I'm focused on this spot over here. So I've given in and I've recomposed the little log where the nuthatches keep landing on, to see if I can get a shot of the nuthatches. Typically what's probably going to happen is that a squirrel's going to run up to the one that I've already set up, run off with a nut because the camera's not on there, and no nuthatches are going to appear on this log. And I think that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. Only time will tell. But I'd be quite happy with a shot of a nuthatch. I must admit, I've not photographed one before, I don't think. Really confident that I've just photographed a nuthatch on film, and I'm fairly confident it's perfectly in focus as well. My only worry is its positioning. Because I'm shooting film, I'm not seeing the result instantly on the back of the camera, so I don't really know what pose or what position it was in when I took the photo. I'm only going to know that when I get the images back. I've got a feeling it's probably not going to be a great pose, but I photographed a nuthatch nonetheless. What I'm going to do now, I've refocused back onto the top of the log, and the squirrel's just approached. Come on, come on, come on. Gotcha. What I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to replace another cob nut on top of that stump, and it's very likely that squirrel will remember it where it just found that nut, so it'll be back again in a short while. I'm going to take another shot just to be sure that I've got a decent pose on top of this log. Here he comes. He's having a look. Oh, that would be a perfect shot if I was lined up for that composition. What are you doing? I've left my nuts open. Oh no, you're supposed to get the nut on top of the log. Look at the nut on the log and take a picture. Okay. My mistake, I suppose. Here we are. Come on. On top, that's it, there we go. Just Absolutely perfect. Yes. So I'm going to set up a slightly different composition now. I've got two with me, which are running around at the side of me, and they know what I've got, so hopefully they'll play ball. The ivy area, just at the bottom here, I'm going to set up this one as a composition, get a cob nut down there, and hopefully they'll come and pose. Try and pop it on the edge here, just so they'll face the front into the sun. There we go, that should do. Just trying to get it already. Oh, I've not ran my film on. Can't believe I just missed a perfect shot because I hadn't wound my film on. Hopefully this time we'll get lucky, as these two squirrels seem to be very happy playing around me at the moment. Yeah, we've got a burglar. There's a nut over there if you want it. It's a lot easier to get to. I'll take up vlogging. Eh? The vlogging squirrel. Hello you. You have to be nuts as well. The squirrel didn't get in there, so you haven't got much chance, have you? I'm about 6 frames into a roll of 10 on the film that I'm using in my camera, although my camera is currently being investigated. Why? Now where was I? I totally lost my train of thought then. Yeah, I'm currently into 6 frames of the roll of 10 that I've got in my camera. I've got more film with me. I don't think I'll switch out the film now. I'll just be happy with the 10 I'm getting from here. But if I was shooting digital, I'd be more or less spraying and praying and just like taking hundreds of images, hoping that I'll get a couple of keepers. But because film is expensive, and plus I'm manually focusing, I'm being very deliberate about my compositions here, and hopefully the majority of images, assuming that the development process goes okay, are all going to be mostly keepers and good quality images, because I'm focusing so much on the composition and really trying to work every single image. Every time I start talking to camera, the wildlife decide to come round and start eating. Here's what nuthatch again. Down the bottom there, we've got birds in the tree, we've got a squirrel coming into the scene, and that's why I've just set up a nut as well to take that shot. My camera's just loaded up. There's me babbling to camera and the wildlife is sabotaging my shoot. Let me just see if I can still get the shot. No, I've missed it. So just changed out my long lens for the 75mm. I'm not 100% sure the images that I get in a pin shot, as I'm really having to back up to get my compositions, but I'm focusing on this log here. I'm just going to put this cob nut down here, and I'm still a reasonable distance away from the subject that I'm shooting here, but I'm finding that the focus going through the viewfinder on the back of my camera here is looking, in the preview at least, a lot sharper than it was with the longer lens. I'm really liking the composition I've got set up here. The 75mm is set up at about this angle, so I've got this archway here, and my objective here is to capture some wildlife, whether it be a squirrel, a nuthatch or a robin, on top of the log here. Gotcha. See if we can wind on for another. Smile. Patience paid off. I've just got 1 or 2 more frames left on this film now, so I'm just setting up on this sort of twisted bit of branch down here. I've got about 4 cob nuts placed along there with the hope of capturing a squirrel just along there. It appears I've been broken into. We've managed to crack the safe. Every time I do a piece of camera, they seem to get up to some form of mischief. It's quite funny. There we go, get into there. He's not happy. Sealed it up. He's proper turning the box over trying to get in.